Meaning, we have decided to change this bit by making a nuclear protection shelter.
So our inspiration for the nuclear protection shelter, the NPS for short, it was when the doomsday clock was near midnight and the U.S. was in 3 different nuclear situations. The phrase the doomsday clock refers to how close the U.S. is in danger of a nuclear attack. The phrase near midnight means that it's imminent and people should start to not panic, but get ready. Those are 3 countries that have been generating nuclear weapons as of recent. So the purpose of our invention is to give people a state of mind where they can feel safe in this time of tumult around North Korea, America, and Russia. So that's a basic nuclear protection shelter with an air filter, periscope, a ladder to get in and out, plumbing, which is self-explanatory, a Geiger counter, which is to clock seismic activity, a radio to contact other people, and if I didn't mention what the periscope is for, it's to see what the condition of the outside is.
So to make this a little bit of a process, we're trying to make this a very affordable shelter, unlike most, which are like about $1,000 and probably $30,000 to install. So first we had to decide on the metal. So we had 2 metals that were both dense, unreactive, and could survive radiation, which was lead and gold. Both metals are kind of good, but I mean, gold, as you probably already know, is really expensive, and lead is a lot easier to transport, and it's very commonly found in cars. And we also had to put in brass so that it could help support the base itself. It could save the shelter in glass, and it could stop the break. You know how lead has it can cause dementia? Well, this is to stop that. It's not bad. And we had to find a way to kind of design it so it wouldn't fall over and it took weight. So we had 2 designs, a teardrop design and a just a normal like square box. We picked a square box and shape. Teardrop would be a lot of money to manufacture.
So what exactly is a nuclear bomb? When most people hear the word nuclear bomb, they think big bomb, boom, scary, end of the world, right? But actually there are 3 dangers to a nuclear blast, not just the fireball. The first danger would be the first blast, which is a shock wave that can extend even farther than the actual blast. The second danger is indeed the blast, which a single megaton nuclear blast can have a fireball radius of 100 miles. And the third danger would be the radiation, which is one of the main reasons why we built the shelter. The actual explosion of a nuclear bomb is caused by chemicals combining upon impact and then releasing all of their energy. The radiation is caused by the reactivity within the chemicals. So this is a link to our site.
On the first slide, a little bit of information about it. It just has some commonly asked questions since most people don't have nuclear fallout shelters anymore since, outdated. It shows all like the dates we did something. And that's basically what I went over earlier.
So these are our citations. One of them is actually a nuclear bomb simulator. We tried out different versions of the nuclear bomb because not all of them are the same. America's tend to be more destructive than different ones. So we clocked this with how much damage they would do on New York, just to show that the fallout shelter supplied by a city in a safe location will not be enough to host the immense loss of this disaster.